Oh, I just got off the bus, so I'm just on Adelaide Street. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just cruising there. Alright, cool. Alright. Alright, I'll just probably have a look around, have a walk around, and then, and yeah, then when you, get here or whatever, call me. Alright, cool. Alright, I love you. Alright, talk to you soon. Alright, cool. Alright, bye.
While we're here, Black Lives Matter. They don't just matter when it's trending, they matter every single day. There's petitions out there, a heap of different petitions, all of them doing the same thing or working on different aspects for the cause to try to stop black deaths in custody here in Australia. And we're coming here, it sparked off a few weeks ago because of what happened to Brother George Floyd. So I want to say rest in peace to the brother and every other African American brother and sister that's going through the same shit over there. But let's not forget the First Nations people over there, the women that are going missing every single day. Our First Nation sisters and brothers over on Turtle Island, up in Canada and in the States. Their lives matter too. There's a petition on change.org. It says Queensland Stop Black Deaths in Custody Committee and Warriors of the Aboriginal Resistance and Black Lives Matter Brisbane. We're calling on the Queensland Attorney General, the Queensland Human Rights Commissioner and the Department of Premier and Cabinet. One, when you sign this petition, this is what you're asking them to do. One, conduct a broad review into all Aboriginal deaths in custody cases since the Royal Commission into Aboriginal deaths in custody, of which there's been 2, and fuck all has changed in the since 1991, since our last Royal Commission. Nothing's changed, so that's what we're asking for. 2, we're asking for an end of racial profiling. On the media they talk about it, they say, Aboriginal youth are overrepresented. Aboriginal youth are overrepresented. Aboriginal women are overrepresented. Aboriginal men are overrepresented. That's code for our white police are pulling these people over because they have a racist disposition towards Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island people in this country. That's the code. That's the language that they're using. Shame on them. So we want an end to racial profiling and excessive force and unnecessary force used by Queensland Police against Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. 3, an immediate ban on the use of chokeholds and knees by Queensland Police. 4, the establishment of a Black Deaths in Custody Committee, of which there is one now, but we want them to push this voice from the community forward to make change happen, to implement the changes. So we want them to recognise that there's a Black Deaths in Custody Committee, and we want them involved in the investigations, involved in the reviewing of the processes. And we want all our black academics, all our black legal service people, all our Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander lawyers and barristers, step up, we're here, we're waiting for you. 5, we want the removal of conflict of interest and bias in Black Deaths in Custody investigations for Queensland Police to no longer take a lead role in investigations of these deaths. No more police investigating police. Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! This is too deadly. Give it up for Fred. And remember those words, remember those demands, because we won't ever stop demanding them. That's the way in which you break the system, break the police, burn the fucking cunt to the ground. So next we're gonna need to have open our binners on this one. So we got to call Faha, who's detained currently in Bida, which is the transport centre for the refugees at Kangaroo Point. and they're just about to have a conversation or have a chat to us. And this is really remarkable things, being able to hear the voices from the inside. These are the lives that we are working to protect. So if you ever think that there's no relevance or significance to hearing the voices, you don't understand what we're doing here today. Black Lives Matter. So there we go.
Hello? Okay, thank you so much. Hello everyone, this is Farhad. I'm a detainee. Thank you. I'm a detainee in Brisbane Immigration Transit Accommodation. I used to be in Kangaroo Point up until 3 weeks ago when I was forcefully moved from there to this high security compound because of being outspoken and expressing my opinion about detention centers and the detention industry in Australia. I came to Australia 7 years ago, and then I was sent to Manus Island, where I was abandoned and exiled for 6 years. I lost some of my friends in that harsh environment in Manus Island, and then finally some of us were brought here to Australia last year. Based on medical reasons, based on medical legislation. And unfortunately now we are trapped in another kind of indefinite detention here in Australia. And what I'm trying to ask you lovely people who care about the humanity regardless of gender, color, religious, to stand up for my rights, to stand up for our rights. We are voiceless. We need your help to get out of this situation, which is ongoing and ongoing. It's been 7 years. 7 years that we are trapped in a situation, and it seems there is no end. If we leave it to your government's hands, please stand up for our rights. We are alone in this battle. We need your help to get our freedom. Freedom is a basic human right, and that's been stolen for 7 years. Please stand up for us, and I pay my respect to the Aboriginal people of this land, those who are and will be the owner of this land forever. Thank you so much, everyone.
Free the refugees! Free the refugees! So we're just going to get Brother Bo to come up and say a couple of words.
Just really quickly, before we get the next speakers up, we've been pretty quiet, for the last hour, and there's a couple of thousand people here, so we need to, be really, really loud and let the city shake. So just repeat after me. When they say justice, we say murder. 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 When they say justice, we say murder.
And we went out there 3 weeks ago on a Thursday, and we stopped those transfer bans. We stood up and we said, we will support the refugees, not on our country, not on our name. And we're standing with them. We're not doing this for them. They got up and they protested first. They inspired us to stand up. And we need to stand with them, because if the government can lock people up for 7 years when they have done nothing wrong, then they can lock anyone up for any reason for as long as they want. So when we come here and we say Black Lives Matter, we also have to say Refugees' Lives Matter. we had to say that prisons should be abolished and detention centres should be abolished as well. And we had to say the police and the Serco guards, the company Serco that locks these men up, need to be abolished. And we need to say that this whole system that creates this oppression, that locks our mob up, that locks refugees up, needs to be abolished as well. Say it loud, say it proud, burn Australia to the ground. Say it loud, say it proud, burn Australia to the ground. Say it loud, say it proud. Say it loud, say it proud. Say it loud, say it proud. Thank you.
How was that? So next up we're going to have a very important person and a very important voice being heard. But before we invite them up, just want to remind everybody what we're doing here today. Oh, and I also forgot, I should introduce myself. My name's Ruby Wharton. I'm a Gamaroi Kumayina, member of WAR and Brisbane Black. But so today, what we're here for is today's the National Black Lives Matter March. So they're going out everywhere, on every continent, standing and chanting the same chants that we are. The momentum has been lost, that's no secret. We are seeing the people who aren't here, that we're seeing the voices, we hear the lack of voices, we hear the crickets, we hear the handcuffs and
When I say justice, we say murder! When I say justice, we say murder! What do we want? Justice! I can't hear you. What do we want? Justice! 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 What are we going to do for it? What are we going to do? Fight for it! What are we going to do? Fight for it! What are we going to do? Fight for it! What are we going to do? Fight for it! So a little bit later, when we march, we need to let the city know that we're here. So we need to be very, very loud. Really loud as possible. Also, like while the people are speaking on the mic, take a moment to go to your social media and start hashtagging Black Lives Matter and stop Black Deaths in custody. Whether or not people are here today, they're going to know that we're here by our footprint on social media as well. So it's important. And also just a bit of background about this weekend. 9 o'clock yesterday morning, Cairns marched to their city. 3 p.m. yesterday in Kempsey, the family of Dave Dungay Jr. marched. Today at 12 o'clock in Brisbane, in Adelaide and in Perth, they're marching today. Tomorrow in Sydney, in Newcastle and in Nowra, more communities are marching. It's important to recognise as well the marches that have been in New South Wales have been banned. And the important thing to know is that the Kempsey one was put on by the family and they were harassed by police in the lead up. And also the mob in Sydney, Newcastle, and also Nowra. Yesterday actually, Nowra, the Newcastle organisers got taken to court and they beat the police officers, so their march was sanctioned. But tomorrow, watch what happens in Sydney. Because the Premier and the police have come out and said that they've banned the march and they're going to come in heavy-handed. So for all the mob that are here today and around the country that's not marching, it's important that we keep our eye on Sydney, because we know after the last rally down there, they caught some of the organisers and also some of the people who came to the march, and they pepper sprayed them and they beat them up as well at the train station. So it's important that we keep our eye on the people around the country. The greatest thing about today and this weekend is we don't need tens of thousands of people. We just need the people that come here and that come to every march. That's what matters. Because we know what it feels like. That's the important thing. Just look at the person next to you. They're going to be at the next one, and they're definitely going to be there at Invasion Day. Regardless of whether this is trending or not. These are your allies on the front line. So get to know them. So it's important that we, make this trend on social media as well. So that's how.
When I left